Alright, adding positive and negative integers. So, in this unit, as you know, we can't use our calculator, and that's annoying, I know, because we're using our calculator in real life all the time. But it's really important to be able to do these quick mental math things without having to be reliant on your calculator. So that's why I'm teaching you how to do this mentally without relying so much on that doggone calculator. So, in this lesson, you're going to be able to add those positive and negative integers. Tomorrow we're going to be subtracting, so we're just going to focus on the addition, which isn't so bad here. So here are the 3 rules that if you remember these, you're going to be a genius at these. So if you have something like this where both terms are positive numbers, just 8 plus 4, we really shouldn't have to think too hard about this because this is a no-brainer. So if both terms are positive, I'm just going to put a big plus sign there, then you're just going to add like normal, no big deal. So 8 plus 4 is going to give us 12. Nothing different there. We've been doing that our whole lives. Alright, so that's rule number 1. Second rule is you are going to see that both of these are negative numbers. So here's where normally we would rely on our calculator, but I want to teach you how to do it without it. So if you have a negative 2 plus a negative 3, both of those terms are negative numbers. So if that's the case, you're going to add the numbers and make the answer negative. So what I mean is, pretend those negatives aren't there for a minute. What is 2 plus 3? Well, it's 5. So I added those, but they're both negative, so I have to make it a negative 5. So if I have negative $2, and then I owe a more negative 3, then I'm going to owe negative 5. So I always like to think of it in terms of money. So there's our second rule. Third rule, if the terms have opposite signs like this, one's negative, one's positive, you're going to subtract the numbers. So here's our little different rule here. This is the tricky one. Oops. We're going to subtract the numbers, and the answer is going to take the sign of the bigger number. So this rule right here is going to be one of the more challenging ones. So that's why I put this little guy here. So let's talk through this. We have opposite signs. So our rule says that we're going to subtract those numbers. What's 10 minus 3? Well, 10 minus 3 is 7. I'm going to look which number here, ignoring that negative, which number is a bigger number by itself? Is 10 a bigger number or is 3 a bigger number? Well, 10 is the bigger number, and that integer happens to be negative, so that means our answer is going to be negative. So think of it in terms of money. If I owe my friend $10, but then I give him $3 because I just got that from my mom or something like that, then I'm still going to owe him $7, but I'm not going to owe him all 10. So I know it seems cheesy, but sometimes thinking of it in terms of money helps you. So let's recap these. Here's are some little tricks that I like to help me remember these. So both of these rules, number 1 and number 2, both of those had the same sign. Both of these are negative, both of these are positive. So I like to remember it as same sign add, or SSA, same sign add. Both of these rules had the same sign, and I just added them up and made them the sign that they were. So same sign add. This crazy rule down here is a little different. They had different signs. So if I have different signs or opposite signs, I'm going to say opposite signs subtract. So this is the only rule or only time where I would subtract those two numbers. So if you can remember same sign add and opposite sign subtract, you'll be great. So let's do a couple examples. If you are ahead of me and you don't need my help with this, pause the video, try these on your own, and then get back and just check your answers when you're done. So let's walk through these. I'm going to write SSA and OSS as it comes up. So I have same signs here. So I know I have same sign add. So I'm going to add them up. They're both negative, so my answer is negative. Easy enough. Alright, this one here, I have negative 1 plus a negative 5. Again, same sign, so same sign add. So I'm going to add them up and make it negative. Alright, Here comes our funky third rule. So I have different signs or opposite signs. So opposite signs subtract. So I'm going to subtract. What's 7 minus 2? Well, that gives me 5. Bigger number is 7, and that is negative. So my answer is going to be negative 5. Number 4, opposite sides again. So opposite signs subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. Bigger number is positive, so I'm going to keep it positive. All right, then we get 3 numbers here. So I'm going to break it apart. I'm going to focus on this part first. So negative 2 plus negative 1, that is same sign add. So I'm going to add them up. Both signs are negative. And then I'm going to bring down that plus 6 here. So here's my second time. Negative 3, oh, now I have opposite signs. So I'm going to subtract them. And my bigger number is positive, so it's going to be a positive 3. Again, we have 3 terms in example 6. So my first thing, I'm just going to go from left to right. 4 plus 3, I don't even have to worry about a rule or anything like that. I can just do that in my head. I'm going to bring down that negative 2. So I have different signs this time. So I'm going to do opposite signs subtract. So I have 5. Bigger number is positive, so it's going to be positive. So this rule is if you feel like you're a beginner and you don't quite think you can do it without a calculator on your own, without any tools. If you know how to do this in your head, you're great, you've been doing this for years, then go ahead and do it. This is just to help you if you need it. All right, last 2. The only difference here is we just have variables. Think of those as just something you have to add on at the end, okay? Those are going to stay with your problem the whole time. So these are like terms. I can add them up. So I have opposite signs. So opposite signs subtract. So I'm going to get 3x. Just tag that on in the back. Bigger number is positive, so I'm going to keep it positive and bring down this negative 6x. So I have opposite signs again. Opposite signs subtract. It's going to be a negative 3x. 6 minus 3 is 3. Bigger number is negative. And our last one here, we have opposite signs. So we have 6f when we subtract. Bigger number is positive, so it's going to be positive. I'm going to bring down that last term here. Again, we have opposite signs. So 6 minus 5 is 1. Bigger number is positive, so it's going to be 1f. Alright, so remember that OSS and SSA, and we'll practice this in class.